Welcome to the Prospect Warehouse podcast. Tonight, even if you're listening in the morning, I don't care. It is tonight now in my world, in my life. So it'll forever be tonight in this podcast. You have me, Tim Kanak, at Fantasy Ace Ball, and you also have Doc Eisenhower on the X. Doc Eisenhower, at Doc Eisenhower. Follow, boom, boom, boom. And if you're watching, you can see we're both looking good and sexy black shirts with zippers together. So I don't know how that happened. We did not plan that, but it kind of looks like we're wearing the same shirt. I assure you we are not.
Well, you never. I mean, it's not exact same shirt.
You have a hood and I have a collar. That's the difference. Okay. Besides that, though, we both have a zippy, and they're both black, and they're both long sleeve. So,
yeah. I finally got paid today from the government shutdown, and so well, this is not. I actually knew it was coming, right? So I bought this last weekend ahead of time. Nice Courage and Conviction, high quality American single malt. So I still got my Evan though, because I'm down to just fumes here. I don't want to like compulsively drink that nice whiskey just because I'm thirsty. So I'm gonna pound back a quick shot at Evan just so I can coast on the good stuff. It says Arkansas Alligator Farm, Hot Springs, Arkansas, because that's where I got this shot glass. Cheers.
Yes. Cheers. Happy payday, man.
Now,
thank you. Yes, element. No alcohol.
You got what?
An element. No alcohol.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
you never heard of these elements?
No,
they're awesome. It's way better than a Gatorade. But
I was pretty much lingering next to poverty. But the thing is, I've been so poor that like I wasn't that worried. I'm like, I got like $300, bro. Oh, I'm set. Oh, my kids are like a little nervous. Yeah, whatever. And so, but I'll tell you, I'll ask you, just to bring this back to baseball, what do you know about Hot Springs and baseball? Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, now you're about to know something. That's where they used to do spring training. So that alligator farm, Babe Ruth hit a baseball into the alligator pit back in the day.
What? I didn't even know there were
old alligator farm. And but yeah, like the gangsters would all go there too, which is probably associated. They would go there to hide out and just like because they have these natural springs there, so they'd go smoke a stogie and just bathe in the springs and go watch friggin' the Babe Ruth slam bombs into the alligator pit. This is actually like the world's a crazy place.
Yeah, mafia in the hot springs and probably feeding the people who didn't pay their debts into the alligator pit where Babe Ruth is hitting baseball.
There's a bizarro universe where spring training is still there, and that's where everyone goes.
That would be super weird because Arkansas is a drive-through state for me, so that would be super weird. Anyway, we're going to talk about the Kansas City Royals today, and we're going to try to go a little bit fast because we do have another podcast coming tonight.
I got two more, by the way. I didn't even tell you about the other one. I'm doing 3 in one night.
What? That's crazy. You're crazy, man.
I know.
Crazy person right here. You better take two or three shots per podcast and see where you're
not going to make it through. I have to lean back into Evan along the way. It's not good.
Yes. Number 20, if you're looking on the screen, is Cameron Millar. We have no updated photo or video on him because he was drafted. I don't know, dude, how much you know about Millar, but he was a third rounder for the Royals. And from what I have read on him, he was drafted for New Zealand for rugby by a New Zealand team for rugby. Do you know anything about this guy?
No, man, but
he's from California.
I was actually a rugby captain in high school, which is crazy. I'm not like the biggest dude, but I'm like a honey badger, just tenacious. And so it probably doesn't surprise anyone. But you're saying he went to school in California and
he went to high school in California. From what I'm reading, he was drafted in the New Zealand rugby draft.
So that's crazy because if you're drafted by like New Zealand or Australia to play rugby from America, you're like the best guy in America. I remember I played rugby in Canada. I was about 16 or so, 16 to 18, somewhere in that wheelhouse. And playing for my city, but that was it. Like you started at like 16. No one really knew how to play rugby before high school. But these British kids came over, these 12-year-old boys, and just you get a hold of them, they go flying. But they had so much finesse, they whooped us. It was crazy.
Yeah, I've never played before. I don't know the rules. I have no idea. But the dude is a pitcher and he throws in the mid to high 90s, and is known for his fastball, where he's gone up to 20 inches of ride. So that's going to be his carrying thing. It's just super interesting that he also was a rugby player, and apparently also he throws a screwball. So that's kind of for Cameron Millar. And the Royals are also like, they're kind of sneaky good at developing pitchers. So you'll see on the list a lot of pitchers here. But I find him interesting, and that's why I put him on the list, because I was like, I can't let a guy who's drafted to play New Zealand rugby, where the All Blacks are, like, slide in the baseball thing.
They also paid him like double over slot.
Yeah, they did. It's because they had to keep him away from the freaking rugby team, man. number 19, starting pitcher Kyle DeGroat. DeGroat was a high schooler picked in 2024 in the 14th round and pitched in A-ball and complex league this year. Kind of interesting. Only pitched 49 innings, but a 12.6 came on his walk. Kept the walk rates down pretty well. What do you know about Kyle DeGroat, Doc?
Dude, yeah, I completely forgot he existed. I know there was some buzz around him last year. I remember, yeah, I guess it's maybe because people were calling him DeGoat, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
That name is just too good.
It is good. Yeah, I mean, he's like I guess he kind of flew under the radar. I mean, 3.8 ERA. Like that's a classic ERA that no one's gonna really like think about much. Like it's actually fine, especially for your first year in pro ball. The strikeout. This is classic. 3.8 ERA. This is in and then 3.1 walks per 9, and then 8.0 strikeouts per 9. Like all perfectly acceptable. So there'll be zero hype, zero complaints, and we'll forget he exists. No, man, these are two guys off the top that, like, yeah, I like those. I like those names.
Yeah, DeGroat too throws from an interesting arm slant, so it's something to keep in mind. Is there's a little
smaller
deception. Though. Yeah, he's smaller, but he's got a little bit of deception on his side, because he's only 6'1", but a little bit of deception on his side here. Number 18, I put a relief pitcher in the top 20. What? It's AJ Causey. So we do have a relief pitcher here. AJ Causey has made it to Double-A and had a 20.1 K- walk rate. So he's actually a relief pitcher with command here, Doc. He had a 0.89 whip at high A and a 0.91 whip at Double-A this year. So I love that, because that it's very rare to see that. Most of the guys that are running relief pitcher track are guys that have like really high velocity and can't find the strike zone. But this dude is a reliever who already has good command. And then he ran like a 15% swing strike rate on the season, roughly. So pretty interesting name for a reliever. And he's not like 26. Like a lot of the times the relievers and the minors are guys who have already flamed out as a starter. So by the time that you like hear of them, they're like even like Craig Yoho is going to be 26 next year. So like a lot of those guys are older, but he's only 22, he's 23 years in one day. So happy birthday, AJ Causey.
Yeah, no, that's a very intriguing profile. It's where you almost like wonder why he's not starting, right, with that kind of command. But hey, yeah, no, that's someone to keep an eye on. His ERA blew up in 9 innings at the fall league, but his command got even better and his strikeouts ticked up too. So that's just like he got lit up for a few too many home runs, basically.
Yeah, 104 F stuff, 119 F control, 113 F ERA. So that gives him a full 110 grade, which is pretty good. And he's a big dude too, 6'3", 210. So you kind of like that. So that is AJ Causey. And like I said, we're going to kind of fly through some of these names here. Number 17 is Yandel Ricardo. So Ricardo's our first non-pitcher. Yandel Ricardo is a shortstop. Do you know anything about Yandel Ricardo, Doc?
Yeah, turn off my Outlook sound. Work's trying to pull me out of this. What's going on? Yandel Ricardo. So I just worked on the Royals for Prospects Live. So I know a little bit about more, and I do like to follow them. I got a sucker for Middle America, right? The Missouri teams especially. I guess I got to just move to Missouri, maybe Arkansas. I seem to like that too. Keep it Middle America. But they spent a bunch of money on 3 guys. Yeah, he's one of these guys, is he not? No, this is the 20. They did 3 guys in 2025, but they gave him Ricardo a 2.4 million bonus in 2024. So I don't know, these guys, it's so crazy. Like the praise that's heaped upon some of these international signings, these kids, it's so funny how they'll jump to like, he's Pujols, he's Julio Rodriguez, he's the Dominican Barry Bonds. I'm like, you guys need to calm down. But sometimes you do find these gems, right? And guy's not striking out a whole lot. Got some good physicality. We'll see. I mean, just from the scouting reports I'm seeing, he doesn't seem to do a whole lot wrong. What do you think about him?
Yeah, he's a switch hitting middle infielder that is speed based. So if you like the Andres Jimenez type profile for a middle infielder, if you want like a speedy switch hitting middle infielder, interesting. So you should see, if you're watching, that he has an 88 power grade, 105 hit, but 130 speed. So jumps out on the speed there because he had 31 steals, 8 caught stealing this year. So the success rate, even though 31 steals, 82%, that's good. That is above average. That's good enough to keep running. You don't like his ISO numbers at A-ball, a 56 ISO, but at Complex, he had a 192 ISO. So I think, Doc, this is the case where the dude was 18 and he like just turned 19 and he has a big frame. So he could potentially grow into more power. So this is like a wild card type, right? Like, so this is a guy where you're like, okay, he's fast. He's got a decent hit tool. And he's big. Can he actually develop the power? That's going to be the question with him. Got anything else on Yandel?
Nope.
All righty. Number 16, Blake Walters. Walters is with an O. So Blake Walters, he's been around for a little bit as a name to watch. 21-year-old in A-ball this year. And he's more pedigree is the reason he's on this list, Doc, than anything, because he didn't have a great year. But he was a second rounder and got like almost $3 million signing bonus. But this year he was pretty terrible. Like the opposite of like the AJ Causey guy we just talked about. He had almost a 20% walk rate as a starter. So yeah, not good, Bob. 47 innings and a 19.3% walk rate. But he has pedigree on his side. And I think that like if you're a pedigree guy, you can survive one really bad year. So like while he's a dropper in my rankings, a lot of people had him like top 10 last year. I've still got him hanging around in the top 20. I'm not like ready to boot him out because of one bad year, especially because he was in his age 20 season. So it's not like he's like 23, 24, putting up terrible commands. So because his first year, 2024, after he was drafted, he had a 10% walk rate. So, I mean, like, it's not like he has a track record of being terrible throughout his entire pro career here.
So there's a couple ways to look at this guy. I like him, and he's got a good 6'4", 210 build, coming out of high school. His trajectory is almost like Noble Meyer, not as much hype. It's just been a weird time where I followed him quite a bit because I invested in him in some leagues. And yeah, he got like they put him on the sidelines for a little while. Then they sent him back to the complex, I think. It's like they're like, oh, he needs to work on things like mechanics. Like it sounds like he was so raw, and just there was some few quirks and kinks and everything going on with him. But the organization is still speaking very highly of the kid. So that again, like what you're saying, it certainly gives me reason to like look into him and hold on to him just from a distance or at the back end of my farm for one more year. No one's really buying this guy. You can't really sell him. So if you already have him, or you can get them really cheap, I'd say sure take a flyer, but it's make or break time going into his age 21 season. Now you're not just like some raw teenager. It's not make or break in your MLB career necessarily, but like what kind of trajectory are you on? Because if you come out strong now, okay, maybe you finish in high A. Okay, now we can start talking. Like now you start doing like a 10 strikeouts per 9 kind of guy, like we think you can be. Okay, now we're talking. Same with Noble Meyer, and it's like those guys, if they can keep their walk down, strikeouts up, the trajectory starts. If it doesn't, in best case scenario, now you're like on the path of like this 25 to 28-year-old debut, which better late than never, but we'll see what happens from this guy with a lot of pedigree.
Yeah, he also had a shoulder injury this year, so that could be one of the reasons why his command was so bad, and maybe a full offseason of rest will help him out. Number 15, Justin Lampkin. So Lampkin was picked 71st overall. It's one of those weird like Comp B second round picks, I think, is what he was. So like the second, because now they have comp picks not in the first, just in the first round, but in the second round too. But he was picked out of Texas A&M, and he wasn't very great in college until the last year, his junior year. Last year, a 22.6 K minus walk at A&M with a 1.1 whip. I don't really care about ERA. He had a good ERA, 3.42, but I don't really care about college ERAs that much. But this is an interesting guy because he's not a high velo guy. He's known for deception. So it's like one of these deception guys is what he is kind of known for rather than being like big stuff, big command. But I mean, like, obviously the results were good last year in college. So, and he's 6'4", 210. So it's not like there's like a weird like body issue or something, but I don't know. Sometimes these guys can also get an uptick in velocity. So like if he's funky and has deception and is getting outs without velocity, if he can like go to drive line and add a couple ticks, then all of a sudden you might be looking at someone pretty interesting. So what do you think about Lampkin? Because we're doing an FYPD mock later. Is this someone that's on your radar for FYPD?
I mean, again, like you alluded to earlier, it's kind of become a destination development org for pitchers now out of nowhere. Because just a few years ago, it was a laughing stock, right? All they had was maybe Brady Singer, and everyone else was just like, ugh. It was just not a place you wanted to go for pitching. The Asa Lacy kind of busting in the minors, Frank Mazzucato. But now it's like there's so many success stories. And, you know, guys are coming from other teams being traded over, these castaways, these cast outs and cast offs. And now it's like, you know, Bergert and Kolek, like just like breaking out in these boring ways. So, yeah, I mean, they're using draft capital on a big body guy. Pay attention. I don't know a whole ton about him at this point, but with the way you're describing him sounds like exactly the sort of pitcher they're churning out. Honestly, it's kind of like a classic Cardinals guy too. Like, you know, this is boring, get her done types.
Yeah. Drew Beam is next. Drew Beam is number 14.
He's the same guy.
Yeah. Drew Beam drafted out of Tennessee, third rounder from last year. So I love my Tennessee pitchers, man. There's just something else about the Tennessee guys, but pretty interesting. He was pretty good last year, like under the radar, like 131 and 2/3 innings, Doc, right out of college, his first season in the pros. That's pretty impressive. In 26 starts, that's a very impressive workload. One of the things for Beam is like his stuff doesn't really rate out too great, but he does again have really good command. 5.6% walk rate at high A, straight out of college, but only a 9.7 swing strike rate. So there are some concerns about like, will he be able to strike guys out as he goes up levels here? But where are you at on Drew Beam?
Yeah, so I love that profile actually because it's like he's going to be like a Michaelis if it works out. Like, you know, it's a classic grinder. He's a workhorse, ready to rumble. He'll probably be in MLB this year, barring hiccups. You know what I'm saying? There'll be injuries. I think he'll get a shot at some point. He actually, in a very deep league, so 25 teams, prospect only league, he was unrostered by the end of the season. I don't know how that happened. I didn't cut him. I would have had him on my team, but I guess I got tempted away because he went in the 5th round of like a FYPD. We have all these shiny toys. So guys I picked in front of him were Ethan Holiday, Sean Gamble, we'll talk about, Riley Quick, Dylan Head. That's because I had Miami organization. I have to pick a certain amount of Marlins. And then Cole Mathis. So, I mean, maybe you could argue I would have got Mathis one more round. I really think he could be cool. So, but this is just all to say Drew Beam's value is next to nothing. But I think we should be paying a little bit more attention. Like he's probably a major league inning eater, which in 30 teamers means something.
Yeah, Michaelis is probably a pretty good comp, like as far as F scores, 86 stuff, 170.
I wonder why no one likes him.
yeah, it's because you have to be in a deep league to enjoy that. Like nobody's drafting Drew Beam in a 12-teamer, but if you're in a 20 to 30 teamer, it's like, yeah, if the guy's a starting pitcher in the major leagues, he's breathing, he's actually throwing the ball, that's actually worth something. So
yeah, I'll throw it for a certain amount of innings. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Number 13 is Luisander Avila. So again, another pitcher. You're like, well, Tim, you're crazy with this. It's all pitchers, but that's just the Royals' bread and butter, I guess. So that's the way we're going. So Avila, didn't he make it? He pitched in the majors for like 2 days or something like that. Like
you actually have his name spelled wrong. His name is Luinder. There's no S in there.
Oh, it's not Louis. Maybe that's a typo.
And I know this because I wrote about
Is
him
it
recently.
Lewinder or Louisander?
I promise it's Lewinder because it's Lewinder.
All right. Well, he came. So basically, he was a starter in the minors, and then he came up as in the relief for the Royals at the end of the year. Here, I actually added him. I think in a 20-teamer for a depth piece. So he actually performed pretty well. 17.9% K- walk rate as a reliever. And I guess like the big question on him and like how to rank him moving forward, Doc, is going to be a reliever long term, or are they going to actually like try him out in the rotation?
I don't know. Probably not the rotation. It's a tough rotation to crack right now. They're talking like, oh, is Noah Cameron like competing for the 5th slot? I'm like, bro, he had a great year, like 2.99 ERA, like, and he's on the bubble. Stephen Kolek's probably out. Like Bergert probably gets the 5th spot. I think Cameron's 4th. But anyway, it's like it's as of right now before injuries, it's pretty deep. I don't think that's probably why they brought him up in relief. And also at AAA last year, he was kind of shaky, 5.23 ERA. Again, the command was fine. Command was okay. The strikeouts were good, and that actually carried over. It was actually an identical K9 and walks per 9 in the major leagues in his 14 innings as it was in AAA over 53 innings, which is random and kind of very lucky. But he played. He kept the ball. He kept the ball down. He kept the runs off the scoreboard much better. In fact, in 14 innings, he didn't let up a single home run. So that helps. We'll see if he can keep that luck going forward. Yeah, his minor league ERA is bad, 4.54 ERA. But, I'm sure what you can see actually looking at his numbers here, in 2025, his K rate jumped way up. So he may have discovered something here. I don't know about his arsenal, about what he did to tweak it this year. But this is someone who could creep up and grab holds pretty fast in the Royals bullpen.
Yeah, I've actually got his arsenal up here. And one of the interesting things is even though he had a 5 ERA, he had a 3.15 JA ERA.
Yeah.
So, there's a little bit of weirdness to his ERA, unluckiness or whatever. What was his BABIP here? Let me look at his BABIP.
I would love to know what he did differently between 24 and 25 because
we could see it right here. Look at this. He threw his curveball as his primary pitch 40% of the time in 2025. So now let's go back to 2024. In 2024, he threw his curveball. He only threw 30% of the time, and it was his second pitch. So 2024, he threw a cutter, curve, fastball, and then he threw a sinker a little bit. So basically 3 variations of fastball with the curve, and the fastball was like his only good pitch really out of that. And then he started throwing his curveball as his primary pitch this last year. And let's see what that did. His curveball had a 15.3% swinging strike rate this year. So all he did was just went heavy breaker and it seemed to work for him. Fastball is not really bad, though. I mean, it doesn't have a great movement profile, but he throws it 95 and a 10.5% swinging strike rate is
a decent one in a relief role.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a little behind the scenes on Avila. Let's keep her moving. Get back to the little board here. Number 12 is our speedster. We're getting into outfield central now. 3 outfielders in a row.
Number 11. I gotta correct you.
Oh, how many?
12. You said 12. He's number 11. We're talking about.
No, we're at number 12. Asbel Gonzalez.
Oh man, my bad. His name.
You're trying to skip to your boy.
Honest, I saw 2 Hispanic names, and I'm like, that's the same. Those are the same words.
Oh man, come on. Asbel Gonzalez is a ton of fun. This guy had like 60 steals or something this year. He had to be. I don't know where he was. If John was here, I'd be like, where did he rank in the steals? 78 steals this year, dude. Now he wasn't super efficient, so let's pull him up because he also, besides the 78 steals, was caught stealing 26 times, which is like an atrocious amount of caught stealings. But in the minors, they're just gonna let you run, man. They don't care. You see, he has a 150 speed score on F scores, so 86 power, 102 hit, 105 discipline. Then the 150 speed, thanks to his friggin' 78 steals on the season here. Last year, look at this. Oh, he was only 1 for 1. I was going to say 100% last year, 75% success rate on the pace pass. That's it. Yeah. But 77% contact. So he does have a decent enough hit tool. But it's super interesting profile. 19-year-old. So it was his first. It was low A. I mean, like in low A, dudes are going to run like a ridiculous amount. So, we'll see if he's still stealing in the 70s in bags in Double A. because you might say, oh, is this guy going to be like the next Victor Scott, Chandler Simpson type guy to come up? I don't know. We have to wait. I think we have to wait until he gets a little bit higher in the minors to see if that's going to be the case.
Bro, I'm just so curious. Like, these guys look like they were running their org like the Angels last year. I'm not sure if you're picking up on this. You check his page. He played 41 games at the complex level in 2024 after coming over from the DSL, and they chucked him up to AA for 4 games from complex. And he was okay.
Probably they wanted him to be a base runner in the playoffs. Like, he only had 6
It had to be
at-bats.
something weird. Like, their season went on a little bit longer. Because he played center field for them too. Like, no big deal, bro. He comes in there off 2 games he started, so he was probably coming in off the bench. That's such like a little funny thing. He got 1 stolen base. He had a 3.75 ERA, OBP, and 1.67 batting average.
They wanted that AA championship, Doc. They're pulling all the strings. Bring the fastest guy in the org up. Just get him on the base paths. Got to win that AA championship. It's Asbel Gonzalez.
He might actually be able to have some power there, like maybe a little bit.
Yeah, maybe 6'2", 170. So yeah, maybe Esteury Ruiz. Oh God, never mind. You don't want Esteury Ruiz. Yeah. So number 11, this is a guy that we both kind of like a little bit. It's Gavin Cross. So Gavin Cross, I like this org because Gavin Cross I actually still like. Like, 11 is not an insult to me in this org. So this is a solid org. But I'm still kind of in on Gavin Cross. I think he's a sneaky ad still at this point. F scores kind of like him too. 101 hit, 90 discipline, 106 power, 116 speed. And we've talked about how good his second half was. I'll move the slider for you, Doc, so you can talk about it, because I know you'd love some Gavin Cross here.
Yeah, I'm actually mad at the Royals for not protecting him in the Rule 5 draft, because they have outfield problems and he can fix it as soon as 2026. But they're not. I guess they're not willing to say he's ready in 2026 at this point. I think maybe you can corroborate this. Maybe it's something along the lines of I read that, like, in the rule. I don't know a lot about the Rule 5, but apparently a lot of arms go in the Rule 5, and so maybe they're nervous about Caderna. Was it? I think it was Caderna, and I know it was Zobak they protected. Caderna's like an inning eater, grinder. We'll probably talk about him. And then Zobak, he's probably profiling more like a reliever, but he had like a 70 ERA. Just shows you that ERA is not everything. But anyway, all to say, we'll see. He might end up going, man, because he in the second half last year, he was crushing it. He was a lot of power. He hit a 501-foot home run. And then, and he's, dude, he's big and he's fast. Like, he's fast. He stole a bunch of bases. I heard he's not that fast, but he just is really good at stealing. So it doesn't really matter on the fantasy scoreboard. He can take a walk. He's had some bad luck. He had this weird Rocky Mountain Fever, something crazy, which sounds like a Joe Walsh song. But it's a little deep cut for the boomers out there. And so, hello, fellow boomers. How do you do? So Gavin Cross, I'm still believing, and I really hope he stays around, even though I'm a little bit discouraged that the Royals don't necessarily fully believe in him. I would have protected him over Zobak. But again, I don't know what GMs know, right? They might have gotten calls last year about Zobak, because you can always use like a big fastball coming out of the bullpen, and other teams might know that. Maybe the Dodgers called, right? They're like, hey, can we check in on him? And then immediately the Royals are like, yeah, actually, I think we got something here. We got to protect him.
Yeah, I feel like hitters, it's tough with hitters in the Rule 5. They always get returned, I feel like. So Gavin Cross, you can see, actually very efficient on the base pass, 94% last year, 82% this year. And his attempt rate is 27% both seasons. So he runs a lot, and he's very efficient at it. And like we talked about, second half, 291, 352, 505 slash in the second half with 8 bombs. So he had a very good second half. His contact rate, 71%, could still use some work, and the K rate still 24%. But that's not the end of the world. Those are good enough numbers for a guy who can hit bombs in 500 feet, 501 feet, and steal bags. Like,
it was longer at that point of the season, in the middle of the summer. It was longer than any home run that had been hit in MLB last year.
And that is nuts. Number 10 is another outfielder. It's Carson Roccaforte. So Love the name. He's actually a year younger than Gavin Cross. Roccaforte, not as efficient on the base pass, only 80% stolen base rate. Still good enough, but 110 power, 96 hit, 103 discipline, 126 on the F scores. He walks a little bit more than Gavin Cross, but he also strikes out a little bit more. But I think I think his tools are just maybe a little bit more extreme. And I don't know, where are you at between these two guys? If you had to pick one, Cross or Roccaforte? This was close for me. I flip flopped on these two a little bit when I was doing this ranking because they're both very close to me.
I feel like Gavin Cross has less. He's more all around. Like, so he's a safer thing. Like, I think he plays good defense. I think he's good at basically everything. He needs to make sure the hit tool is just average, just good. Make sure that's not bad, because that's a bad one to be bad. Roccaforte plays like Gold Glove defense in center field, from what I understand. And like, honestly, with what Kyle Isbell's limitations are offensively, I'd be ready to rumble with Roccaforte as soon as this year if he can just give you that elite. Gavin Cross, from what I understand, will not give you elite defense. He can actually play center. I'm not sure if it'll be elite. I'm not, I don't have that on him, but I feel more confident in Gavin's hit tool than Roccaforte. I see how you have a problem with this, because Roccaforte is actually hanging out in like the 30% range his whole minor league career of strikeouts. He does take walks too, though. And yeah, it's interesting. In 2023, I had my eye on him, and he had no power, 0 home runs. And then, of course, the next year, he just started flashing it like crazy. So huge. I don't know. I mean, you could say huge upside. There is actually surprisingly big upside with Carson Roccaforte. Put some respect on the Italian man's name. The Kansas City Royals paying tribute. I didn't even mean that. Paying tribute to their mob scene. I heard there's a Kansas City mob scene by bringing aboard all of the Italians. Let's go over it. What do they got? Pasquantino. They got Caglione. They got Roccaforte. They got Mazzucato, who's not working out. They got some other guys.
Yeah, Mafia is big in Kansas City. It's underrated. Milwaukee and Kansas City are like the underrated Mafia cities. Don't ask me how I know that stuff. Number 9, Josh Hammond, shortstop. Josh Hammond was just drafted, and he was drafted out of high school, so we don't really have any nice F scores or anything like that to show on him. But he's pretty interesting to me. He's known for having some pretty good raw power. And like a lot of the time when I look at these shortstops, it's like, okay, I am looking for someone who has tools right now from out of high school guys more than like, oh, I want the good hit tool and the good defense. I would maybe consider Hammond around the same area as like a Billy Carlson, even though they were drafted like 60 or 70 spots apart or something like that. So what do you think about Hammond?
I think that I'm just looking at your ranks, and I notice you don't even have Zobak on your ranks. That's crazy. He had a big 24, and he fell off last year with the ERA, but the stuff's still there. So I just wanted to follow up for the listener, because they may never get their satisfying Zobak talk. Anyway, all right. Hammond. He's not going to be a shortstop with Mr. Witt around, but maybe settles into the second base spot there, depending on what they end up doing. I mean, Maikel Garcia, if you have a Gold Glover at third base, a tricky position, why move him? I've heard talk about maybe bringing in a Bregman or something, then shifting Maikel to second, but I don't know, whatever. That would be the only reason why you'd want to shift him off third. So Hammond comes in here from shortstop to second. Now, you have like a really good defensive infield, right? If you're playing shortstop and they push you to second, like that's a talented second baseman now. Could be interesting. Yeah, it seems like he's got some good pop. He's an exciting and underrated prospect. I think you have him a little low here.
Ooh, I've got him though pretty high. I told you I liked his org. For my FYPD rankings right now, I've got him at number 53. So that's low. Man, where was he drafted? I can't remember where.
He was drafted first round, sir. He was drafted 28th overall.
Oh, okay. I guess. Number 8 is Ben Caderna. So Caderna, you briefly mentioned, he's been around for a hot minute, but he's still only 22 years old and hit AAA. That's because he was drafted all the way back in 2021, $3 million from high school in 2021. So he's been around for a hot minute. But he gets some proximity bump here, right? Like, I mean, he didn't have the greatest year and he's been kind of iffy at times. So like, just kind of like how we talked about with like, oh, I don't know how good he's going to be. I feel like he has number 3, number 4 starter potential in Ben Caderna. So like that's usable. Like, is he going to be Chase Burns? No, but I do like Caderna a little bit still.
Pull up his
I
first
feel like
half.
there's going to be a lot of use for him. All right, let me pull him up here.
Yeah, because he looks real mid. He looks like he's going to be a grindy inning eater 5th starter. But there was like a window last year where he was looking kind of solid, like first half, maybe even the first 2/3. But I'd say go with first half for now.
Yeah, so he's pretty mid on the F scores, but 96 stuff is better than an 80 or whatever we had from Michaelis Jr. So 96 stuff, 104 control, 97 FERA, 104 durability. He's a perfect 100. So he's a perfectly average starter. Yeah, this is this is
give him to like July 1st.
Yeah, the F scores are this is full season. So let's go to
no, like so first half. Sorry,
yes.
First half. So give him the full first start of the season. Yeah, the listeners love this kind of thing.
Exactly.
But I'm curious because he showed a hot stretch, like hotter than he had ever been before. Yes, I knew it.
3.53 JAERA in the first half, bumped up to 4 or something in the second half. Yeah. But yeah, the end of the season not good. Look at this. Last 4 starts, like 5 walks. Which
like that could be something you think about because those were like at AAA, a lot of it, and then like some of it was like maybe he was putting on a lot of innings. I don't know, but he's still like he's still not looking like an electric guy. I think you have him a little high here. I sold high on him in our 30-teamer, the salary cap. He was part of, I don't remember what he was part of, but I sold a high on him and Ramon Ramirez. I do a lot of foreshadowing in this podcast. And that was not a sell high on Ramirez. I do like him. But Caderna, 30-man league, kind of like a Drew Beam type. More excited about Drew Beam.
Yeah, he's got a bad fastball. 3.7% swing strike rate on the fastball.
He's from Kansas City area. That's all he's got. It's a cool story.
He's got a good changeup and a good slider, bad fastball. You see is that cutter actually did all right in 7 pitches. I mean, maybe you should throw the cutter more if he's actually getting swings and misses on it versus his terrible fastball.
Probably a reliever, maybe a Kyle Leahy type.
No, he's not a reliever, man. He's a starter. That's why I have him ranked this high because I think he's 22 and he's already in AAA. So like he's big. Yeah, he's going to be a starter. So now you got me off track here. Where are we now?
We got the great Ben Caderna debate. That's how you know things are going good.
We got my boy, Michael Lombardi. I love Michael Lombardi. So Michael Lombardi is going to be a first-year player draft guy. Love the fastball, man. He throws 100 miles an hour. He was a two-way player. So this is a guy that was, and we talked about him. If you go back and listen to the mock things, I picked him in the tool shed mock. But big things to know about Lombardi is he throws 100. He was a two-way player, so he played, I think, shortstop and pitcher, and now he's going to only pitch. So there's maybe a little bit of Nolan McLean story-ishness here. And the fastball, besides touching 100, also has ridiculous ride. So there's just tons of potential here for Lombardi. I'm a sucker for a great fastball.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him, but when you say that, I'm excited. I'm getting a better grip on the FYPD scene, but yeah, I mean, I didn't realize he has such. It seems like his curveball might be even bigger, so that's kind of interesting. How old is he? 22. The rich get richer, man. These guys, and he's Italian. You know this guy. So this is the thing. Like Ben Caderna is not going to be able to cut this rotation, dude. This rotation is going to be. They can get rid of one of their guys, 2 of their guys, 3 of their guys, and like. You got some good guys, like some good pieces coming up behind them. So,
dude. Lombardi's right down your alley. He went to Tulane, so it's right down your alley. New Orleans, man, is close to Arkansas. Yeah, close to the alligators. So a 31% K- walk rate last year. That's insane. That's sick. That's as a starter and a reliever. So take a reliever, but
take a reliever.
Yeah, take a reliever, but I'm a fan of the fastball, so I'll take him. Next is Sean Gamble. You wanted to gamble on Gamble, so go ahead.
Well, again, when you go with these prep kids, it's a gamble. He said the line. So I mean, but everyone was raving about him. Like even years ago, you do some reading on the kid and you start trying to figure it out. And he just seems like he's a smart kid who I guess I'll say this to give you something tangible when I talk about the scouting kind of conversation. I think he left home at 14. He left home at 14 years old or something like that.
Yeah, he went to IMG.
Yeah, he went down to where the special kids go, and so as much as that's like a huge step, man. That means you're dedicating from for example, when you get these other guys like Colson Montgomery or Gunnar Henderson, you're like playing all these other sports, and then at the last second they're like, you know what, I guess I'll just stick with baseball. At 18 years old, this guy knew it. It shows love of the game, and you might want to watch out. Maybe there'll be some burnout eventually, right? Because some kids they burn out, like I did it too much, or you you just know and you're maxing out your attributes the whole time, and you're getting so much more experience focusing on one sport. And so I don't know, man. I got a really good feeling about him. Call it a gamble, call it a smart gamble, but he seems like he has a little bit of everything. I think there's it looks like a strong hitter here, left-handed hitter, helping the outfield. So if this kid pops up and pops off and shows polish, I mean, I would hope that they would consider moving him up the organization pretty fast.
Yeah, he's also really fast. So he's got a good hit tool, and then he's fast.
He seems to do everything.
Yeah, he does. He's got at least average-ish power, and then he's fast. And then he's got a good hit tool. So I don't know. There's maybe some Bryson Stott type stuff there, I think, where you get 15 bombs and 30 steals or something like that.
He's got a better hit tool.
Yeah. Or Bryce Terang before this year. I don't know. It's a line maybe to look forward to. Number 5. This is a guy we both like. Didn't you pick him? You picked David Shields in the tool shed thing, right?
Probably. Yes, I did.
Yeah. All right. Let me throw him up on the scores here so we can look at Mr. David Shields, who is super, super underrated. And of course, I typed in David Shells.
I don't know if he's underrated anymore. I think he's getting a lot of buzz. I think, well, at least in the industry circles. So maybe not overall, but he's getting some buzz.
As he should. Look at those F scores. 102 stuff, 122 control, 108 FERA. 122 control is absolutely insane. This guy doesn't. Let's see how many walks he had this year. I know 5% walk rate. So he had 86 strikeouts and only 15 walks and 19 starts. So less than a walk per start. Gotta love that. 23.5 K- walk rate on the season for Mr. David Shields, who was an A-ball as an 18-year-old. So he was doing that stuff as an 18-year-old. The only knock that you can have on David Shields is the velocity, right?
Where's his velo at?
I think he's hitting 91 if he's lucky.
Is that a fact?
It's not good. I want to say it's high. He's living 88 to 90. But he's only barely hitting 91.
I know coming out of the draft, he had he was getting it up to the mid 90s. So I don't know what.
Yeah, this says he's peaked at 95, but I've watched some of his starts and he was kind of he was reading in the high 80s, low 90, 90, 90, 91 was the best you were getting. But I already mentioned it before. Is he's young. He's still he can build a lot of velocity. So he's 18. He's not. Mm-hmm. He's not doing that as a 23-year-old, right? So there's still room to grow here for him.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone's excited about. So I actually don't know where I'm at with him because I do know where I'm at with him. I like him, but I think I only have him in one league. So I was about to sell him because there's some decent hype building up, and a young guy, he could be going through a TJ at some point 3 years from now and resets his whole value anyway. But
no, not on that velocity.
Shush, dude. Friggin' Drew Thorpe, Justin Steele, my heroes, my low velo heroes. That theory's gone. I used to think that way, but now it's just you basically, who knows? Yeah, go with the guys who look like they're big and hope for the best. Drew Thorpe, Muscle Mountain, still succumbed. David Shields, yeah, big on him. We'll see what happens. He's a lefty in the great organization. I'm still I don't know what to do. I think he could be the next one of these up really ascending guys where if he can take off this year and as you said, increase that velo, will unlock a lot of magic because he's already got impeccable command for a kid.
Yep. Let's move into Catcher City here. You already mentioned in my name, but 3 of the top 4 players in the Royal system are catchers for me. And number 4 is Ramon Ramirez. So Ramon Ramirez is super underrated in my mind because Carter Jensen is the steam guy right now. Blake Mitchell is the first round pedigree guy who was hurt. And Ramon Ramirez is just like the underrated guy kind of coming out of nowhere. But the F scores absolutely love him. 101 hit tool, 100 discipline, 98 speed, and 121 power as a catcher. And that's all as a 20-year-old. So like the Royals and the Cardinals between the catchers, like the catchers in these orgs, yeah, it's hilarious because I feel like 80% of the great catchers in the minors are all in Missouri. It's like, what?
Dude, you don't even have Blake Mitchell on your chart, which is insane. I think you need to be.
No, Blake Mitchell's next. What are you talking about?
Is he? Okay, shoot.
Yeah, he's number 3. But Ramon Ramirez, number 4. Focus on Ramon. What do you got on Ramon here, even though you traded him?
Listen, dude, I just took I've been drinking whiskey on the podcast, so when you do
you just said you took a shh. That could mean a couple of different shh that you just took. So
you're a show whiskey. Anyway, no, that's why you drink, so you can use it as a crutch in case you mess up. I'm not dumb. I'm just drunk. No. Anyway, no, Ramon Ramirez. I'm big on him. In fact, I've been able to trade him even. There's like some buzz. Like I think like 1 or 2 years ago when he was in the DSL, so one of these BA or BP put him up as like the number 100 prospect. It was the only Kansas City Royals prospect. So shout out to them. They were definitely pretty early on the hype train. I like him. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but they're only playing as a catcher for now. If he keeps on being good, and Carter Jensen looks like an immovable object back there, probably got to move him off. We'll see what he does. I don't know. It's a long way away, but ways away. Check out real quick his first half last year because he finished the season as a whole was fine. But I want to say at one point, like I was really excited. It looked like he was doing some freaky stuff. Yeah, something like that. That's fine.
It looks like his second half might. Oh, yeah, there you go. First half, 252, 363, 472.
I guess he was fine throughout.
Yes. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty consistent throughout. But he actually was getting DH reps, though. So 32 starts at DH. So they like the bat enough to DH him, but it's also A ball. So it's like if this is the best guy on the team, you should try to get him as much playing time as you possibly can.
Yeah.
So let's jump over to Blake Mitchell, who missed the majority of the season. So I don't even know like if we're gonna have any F scores on him at all, which I should know because I actually like just went through and was like doing dynasty stuff. But yeah, we do good. So 97 hit, 106 power, 105 discipline, 107 speed. So his power actually ranks worse than Ramon Ramirez. That's kind of interesting, right? But I think that Blake Mitchell probably hits the ball a lot further. He's kind of like infamously known for his power when he got drafted. So why don't you talk about Blake Mitchell? Because didn't you like talk to him or have him on your podcast or someone talked about him or something like that?
Very close. Yeah, good memory. Way better memory than me. Callan Moss, who will randomly just text me sometimes. I freaking love Callan Moss. He's killing me because now I got to keep drafting. If he keeps producing and keeps being my bro, then he's going to be number 1 prospect in no time on Doc ranks. And you're lucky he's on the Royals. We would spend the whole half hour talking about Callan Moss. But Callan was obviously teammates with Blake Mitchell for a while, and he was teammates with him while we did right before he got traded on the podcast on Dynasty Dingers last year. And so this year, I guess, but last season. And so he said that Blake Mitchell was the number 1 guy with the most skill that he was playing with at that point in time. He's like, when you saw him hit the ball, you could hear it, every single time. And he apparently Blake Mitchell would like talk to Callan and be like, hey, this one, it's going yard. I know exactly what this pitcher's going to do. I'm going to smack it out. And he would do it. And so calling his shots. Now, when you hear those stories, it's great. When you see what he did last year, it was less great, right? So he went from 18 homers in 111 games the year before in 2024 at low A. So it's not like he was just mashing the complex. But then he got to high A and frankly struggled. He in 60 games only had 3 home runs total. It was a weird season, but obviously that power didn't go away completely. He's stealing bases. I think that's more likely to die. Like he's not very efficient. So I don't know what's going to happen here because he needs to figure out, he's walking at like 20% rates, right? Like really taking a lot of walks. but he's striking out over 30%. So it's like he needs some things figured out at the plate if there's going to be a future here. Now, and I should rephrase that because it's not like we're at that point of his development. Was he 21? Yeah, he's 21.
Yeah,
so
and you're gonna love this. He has notched a 116.5 max EV.
He hits the ball hard. It's crazy that he only had 3 home runs. So, but like his value right now, you have him high. So kudos to you. I went from like ripping on you, like, dude, those on your ranks, just because I'm dumb. But then it's like, but then I got him when we just did this tool shed mock. I took him like 300th, something crazy. I'll pull that up for you while you talk about Blake Mitchell.
Yeah, so Blake Mitchell during the Arizona Fall League had a 116.5 mile 3-run homer, which hey, it's great to hit the ball 116.5 when you're in the minor leagues, but it's even better to do that in the air because you see a lot of these guys like, oh, you got a 118 max EV, and it just like pounded straight into the ground, Yandy Diaz style. So it's like this dude actually hit a bomb on his 116.5, so that's pretty sick, and he did it in Fall League. And he also apparently had a 105.3 90th percentile EV this year. So really good EVs from Blake Mitchell. And because he was hurt this year, this is the time to buy him. This is like your window, because next year he could just completely blow up. And then then all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's the next Carter Jensen or the next Basayo or whatever. So I feel like if you want him, you've got to go get him now. Now this offseason.
Everyone's giving up on him. You're like, it's just us, bro. It's just us.
Yeah. So number 2, we're going to actually bounce back to another pitcher. It's going to be Kendry Chourio. And I actually we'll look at some video for him. So Kendry Chourio is like one of the big pop-up names. It's like basically Kendry Chourio and like Johnny King were like the 2 big complex A-ball pop-up names. You see here 2.85 J8 ERA. John is not going to pull complex data. So if you're on MLB Data Warehouse looking at the statistics, you're only going to get his statistics from A-ball, not from complex league. You can see he's actually quite a bit better against righties than against lefties for whatever reason. I mean, like he's 6 foot 160 righty. And my comp for him is, and you might like this when we see the video. So I want you to think about this. My comp for him is a mini Jose Fernandez. Like I called him like small mini Jose Fernandez. But he throws the ball 94 to 98 miles an hour. So I gave him a 55 out of 60 on the fastball. I gave him a 55 out of 60 on the curve, and I gave him a 40 out of 50 on the changeup. Excellent command. You can see for this kid, an 18-year-old, like this dude just turned 18.0. A 4.2% walk rate is pretty unreal. Right, Doc?
Yeah, right. You're right. It's unreal. You win. It's like, where's the video, bro? I want to watch this.
I'm trying to do it and talk at the same time. You've got to talk so I can do the video.
This has been a good podcast. I'm like giving you a lot of sass on this podcast. Oh, here's the video.
Boom! Look at this, Agent Orange in the background, right? Like it looks like
Look at that. Was that an ephus?
That was a curve right there. That was
a 50 mile per hour ephus.
Look at that. His curve is only like 78 to 80 miles an hour.
What's he throwing here? It doesn't look like he's throwing gas.
That was a changeup.
Okay.
But the last 2 were his curveball. Oh, that was it. Come on. I want more napalm. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Show me some more of him throwing there. I want to see if he's actually 160 still.
Some more
I don't like 160
here. He's small. I mean, he's only 6 foot, so he's small. Here, we'll get some behind the plate footage.
I love this.
Oh yeah, look at that. Harmonious tones during the podcast.
We need John to fund you to block ads on YouTube.
I know, right? Boom, here we go.
Now he's got a good fastball.
Yeah. He's throwing mid-90s. Woo, there'd be.
But like I'd say he looks a little projectable though. I don't think he's gonna stick at 160. Like he could be 180, 6 foot 180 type of guy.
Yeah, I mean, 6 foot is a little bit short for a pitcher, but he has like impeccable command so far, and he does have good velocity. And curveball is pretty nice, even though it's not a fast, like it's a slower curveball, like 75 to 78 is slow. A lot of people now are throwing their curves in like the low 80s because it's kind of like a sweeper curve, I guess. They're like kind of melding it. But he has like a traditional 12-6er. It doesn't have a ton of break on it, but it's nice. It's more like late break.
Adam Wainwright.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's important to note that
Fernandez.
he just turned 1850 days ago, 5-0. So it's like he played the whole season as a 17-year-old going to low A. That's impressive. And frankly, the ERA doesn't look good. The back of the baseball card. It took me the whole podcast to get to it. But a 9.5 K9 and a 1.6 walks per nine at low A, and was way better, even better at complex rookie ball. So I'm not usually one who goes for like the DSL kids, but once they come over and they keep doing it, I can see why the hype's growing. I don't think I'd have them as high as you have them, but that's react accordingly. I understand there's people who are going to go for him, but let's talk about the king, and then we'll go do a first year player draft mock after this.
Yeah, numero uno on the list is Carter Jensen.
The king.
Killer catcher here, the king of the catchers, all the catchers. So you got here a 99 hit, 104 discipline, 115 power, 98 speed. This guy was hitting the crap out of the ball in the majors. Like, I think he was hitting it harder in the majors and the minors. I think he posted like a 115 or something in the majors. But a 107.3 90th EV is ridiculous in the minors this year. 94 average EV in the minors with the 110 max. 15.8% barrel rate. These are all very important things. He has excellent angles when he hits the ball. So you might look at his contact and see, 70.2 at triple, 75. He's got a 73 to 75% contact rate, but 86.5, 87 at zone is good. That's above average. And the angles are there. So he's got a crazy 17-degree average launch angle, 15.8% barrel, and he hits the ball hard significantly. 35.6% sweet spot is good. So just killer angles here for Carter Jensen. Go ahead and talk about Carter Jensen, Doc, while I pull up my dynasty. I'm going to talk about where I've got him in dynasty after you talk about him.
I'm going to break your heart by showing you the trade. Minnesota, like our evil villain. Hey, everyone out there, your evil villain in your league, the guy everyone hates. Everyone has one of those. I swindled him a couple of years ago. I just had a good feeling. I'm a sucker for the Royals, and I like this guy's up. I know he had some upside when they drafted him. Then he dipped down for a year. Anyway, I traded, I think, Darnell Hernandez. Daryl Hernandez. I think it's Darnell. I don't know. Hernandez from the Athletics.
Yes, Athletics.
Him for Carter Jensen. Boom! You actually got wrecked, though. Because Carter Jensen's savant page is like Kramer walking into that, coming out of his room with the signs blaring. The red signs got put outside of his window. That's for the Seinfeld fans. He does everything right. He's hitting the ball perfectly. He's taking walks. He's only 22 years old. And frankly, even like the little savant, I don't know how much this is good at measuring really, but the savant page said he's actually good at fielding or fine at fielding for a rookie. I mean, if you're halfway through, if you're okay, like you're the catcher, you're the guy. When you can hit like that, I mean, the only thing that might hold him back is if he's just so darn good at hitting. But how he's going to be learning from who? Salvador Perez. He's going to be watching this guy who is an ultimate Iron Man. This guy who's still actually under the hood. Sal Perez looks good at his ancient age and big size. So, he's probably going to learn how to have some grit. And he's also from the Kansas City area. I can't get enough of Carter Jensen, the ultimate baseball name.
This is where I've got him right now in my 3-year dynasty rankings, Doc, is I've got him at number 12 overall. So he's right here, sandwiched between Agustin Ramirez and Gabriel Moreno for dynasty, for 3-year dynasty. And he's only a couple of spots under Basayo. I'm still playing with it a little bit right now, but that's where I've currently got him at 12 overall for dynasty, for 3-year dynasty.
I think you got to get these numbers way up. Get him up, get Augustin up, get Basayo up, get Yander down.
There's just so many good catchers that are younger right now. But the thing to consider is I've got Herrera here. So is Herrera is he actually going to catch? The Cardinals right now are saying that they want him to catch a minimum of 50 games next year. So is he actually going to catch?
We'll see.
Augustin's
probably not.
He might move to first. So that's where I've got him in my rankings, though. But I've got him in the top 12 already for dynasty. Like I've got him ahead of Adley. So I'm a Carter Jensen guy. So wherever he ends up, he's going to be high. He's going to be
25 homers.
Ramirez area. Yeah, I believe it.
Now, this year.
So that's the podcast. We're going to end there. You follow Doc at Doc Eisenhower on the X. Follow me at Fantasy Ace Ball. And definitely subscribe to the MLB Data Warehouse so you can get all John's fun tools and you can probably navigate them better than me while I'm talking live on a podcast. Multitasking. I'm not good at multitasking. That's the pod. Peace out, everybody. See you next time.